All right, here we go. Mic check again. Looks like we're working. I think I had a little power supply issue there. All right, looks like we're going. All right. All right, we're back. We are trying it again. And hopefully we're good. I don't know. I think my computer died. This is a 10-year-old computer that's running this show, so hopefully it works. The light's on, so I think what happened was it didn't boot up with the battery on, or I booted up with the battery on and it didn't see power, and then I ran for I don't know about 45 minutes, and then the computer died. All right, okay, here we go. I apologize to my sociology kids, but we got through most of the material. I didn't get a chance to look at the assignments, but the assignments were pretty much in line with what we were talking about. So for US, I want to make sure that we get through the material that I've covered, and hopefully we'll get another shot at it. So, all right, looks like we're good. I had a good sound stream going through. Let's see here. Looks like we are live again. Excellent. All right. We are back. All right. So we're 20 minutes shy of our start point. So we've got a lot of ground to cover for U.S. history. So let's go ahead and switch out our banner here so everybody knows we're in the right place. Let's go right there. Let's change over to U.S. history. Here we go. All right. Okay, so assignment-wise, let's go into Canvas really quick. Let's look at Canvas, see what I've got out there for you. I told you this week would be a lot less stressful. You never know until you get. You can't really gauge out what people are able to do, what they're willing to do. I really don't think that the assignments I'm putting out are that totally hard. I think the way that you're asked to turn your work in is just a little bit different. I mean, I think you guys are just not used to, I guess, applying yourself so much. I think this is a good thing. So it's all good. So less is more application of your time in a more specific way. So less busy work, more things that are specific to what I want you to learn. So it's good that way. All right, here we go. So let's go down to the Vietnam. Now, the assignments I threw at you this week, the second part, had to do with civil rights. I did go ahead inside of Canvas, and I did take the page. This is the web page that I created. I call it a fakey page because it's not the real page. The real page is this one right here. That's the real web page right there where it says Vietnam War. Let me just make that a little bit. There, that's 100% right there. So the old packet and that kind of thing. But the first two assignments had to do at the beginning of the Vietnam War. What were the issues and events? And then what I wanted to do was cover the second part of this unit, which is civil rights. I wanted to look at the early parts, the early early civil rights legislation that led to changes in America that, of course, created a lot of unrest. I mean, it was a massive change, like overnight. It's kind of like what we're doing today. Like 1 minute we're sitting in class and everything's normal, and the next minute we're like all online. I mean, tell me that wasn't a big change in your life. And believe me, I have a lot of kids that are resisting this. They do not want to do online work. They're just like, fine, I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to, I'm going to cross my fingers and hope a grade shows up in the fall, and then I'm going to pass, And, that's the resistance, I call that. And some of you guys just basically just went with the flow. Hey, this is the way things are changing. And this is just the way I'm going to have to learn. So the quicker you are and the less resistance to change, the smoother it went for everybody. Same thing with the civil rights movement. When you knew that the world was going to be different, it was much less difficult for you. All right. So, and that's what I think, kind of like this online experience is kind of an analogy of. All right. So analogous of, I don't know. So here we go. Let's go ahead. And so this was basically looking at civil rights legislation. Okay. Or early civil rights legislation or laws. Okay. Laws that people were faced with that were different. So when I geared it towards the 14th and the 15th Amendment, these two amendments, 1868 and 1870, and both of them came well after the end of the Civil War. It took time. It took time for Congress to finally come to grips with, hey, we fought this war. The South is now has to be obedient to the North, and of course, slavery became the number one issue. This is what we fought for. And, a large number, about 250,000 slaves actually fought on the side of the Union Army. And of course, the Emancipation Proclamation happens. The Southern slaves are freed. So quite honestly, in the South, you have complete emancipation. In the North, you really don't. It's kind of interesting that way. The Emancipation Proclamation freed freed slaves in Southern states, but it did not solve the problem of slavery in its entirety. Anyway, let's look at these ideas. The 14th Amendment says, in 1868, it granted citizenship to anyone born or naturalized in the United States and guarantees every person due process and equal protection. So that basically looked at anybody that was brought into the country is now free, and that includes anybody that was imported, from Africa. But the wording of it was very vague. But it says born or naturalized. And it says it guarantees every person due process and equal protection. So pretty much the Constitution applies to everybody. In 1870, it said the 15th Amendment was adopted and provided the right of citizens of the United States to vote shall not be denied or abridged by the United States and by any state or account of race, color, or previous condition of servitude. These amendments also empower Congress to enforce their provisions through appropriate legislation. You notice that it doesn't say people that lived in the Americas prior to its settlement and indigenous people. So, and of course, women were not part of that 1870 ruling. And then we get down to the Brown versus Board case, and that's going to come up next week. So I'm gonna ask you about. We're going to look at the 1950s legislation, kind of the rebirth. Why in the 1950s? Well, we have this huge amount of stuff that goes on in between. We got World War I that establishes some precedents. With creation of the League of Nations, you got World War II that eventually would pop in. The Great Depression. All this stuff kind of overshadowed the changing laws, and of course during this time, you had a very resistant South. You have the emergence of the KKK and all these things that happen. You have the Harlem Renaissance, which we talked about. So let's go in and look at the assignments for that really quick. I want to go into the modules because this is where the action takes place, right? So now you can see week 4 is ready to go. And what I'm going to have to hold on. Did I see? Let me see if I added. Maybe I didn't add that in there. Let's see. Classwork. The roots of the civil rights. Did I put that in? Yeah. No, I haven't put that in yet. So be patient. I told you I was going to be easy on you this week. More than likely, you're going to get one video, and the video that I'm putting up is this one right here. Let me just show you really quick. Let me go back to my website. This one, it's right here. It's on the Little Rock 9. So this is where we're going to probably start with this Brown versus Board case. So just know that's coming. This will be the only assignment right here, right there. That thing right there. So just be patient. I'll have that thing posted here in just today sometime. Don't freak out. This will be the only assignment I give you this week. I promise. And more than likely, the answers will come in the form of some kind of quiz. Okay, it'll be simple, like a 10-point quiz. So you'll watch the video. I'll give you a link so you can kind of study through it. And then I'll create 10 study questions. And then you'll just go through and you'll take that quiz. Okay, that will be this week. That's pretty much it. All right, so let's look really quick at last week's stuff. And that is the roots of civil rights. So let's just look at this assignment really quick. You can see I'm just throwing random points on there. So the question was, it says significant civil rights legislation. The 14th, in the 15th Amendments, created some changes. And how did the South, how did they, feel about this quickly? I mean, just bang, what was their immediate thoughts? And their immediate thoughts were obvious, right? You guys that turned in assignments did a really good job. Their assignments was resistance. They're like, we're not doing this. We're not gonna, you can say people are equal, but we don't have to feel that. And that's really kind of the basis of this racism in the South is this anti-black movement, this racism. And it came in three major topic headings. I said voting is one, because voting, even though they were allowed to vote, it didn't mean that you had to make it easy for them to vote. And that's kind of the way the South took it. The other one is schools. You say we have to educate black children. Well, we're going to educate black children. We're going to basically open up really crappy places. We're going to find the crappiest building in town, and we're going to fill it full of black teachers, and you can put all the black kids in there you want, and that's going to be education for you. And, and of course, the people that support this are the people that are the parents of that black school system. And so black parents will take care of black kids and white parents will take care of white kids. And if you look at the disparity of income in the South, that's why you get very, very, very low income schools for black children, because of the ability to make that school better. There just isn't the wealth like in the black or in the white communities. So you'll see that that's kind of the beginning of this. And of course, how tax money is spent is determined by voting and by laws, right? And who controls the voting system? Well, white voters and white politicians. And of course, they're going to basically side with and vote with and basically fund things that they feel they fund. And they're going to put that funding level at whatever level they feel to put it at. And of course, it's going to be unfair because they don't believe that the Civil War outcome was fair. And they're going to punish. And they're going to resist. All this resistance, okay, is going to be the catalyst that is going to be the result of these two amendments of the Constitution. Look at 1860, 1870, and now we're getting into the 1950s, and you're like, wow, that's a long time. Yes, the South was not a very friendly place. You were pretty much subjugated by basic laws, and then you'll look at some of those basic laws that existed in the South. They call them Jim Crow. So we're going to look at Jim Crow. And we're going to look at the school systems, and we're going to look at the first attempts to make that a more equitable situation. And so you have something that happens called this case here, the first what we call major challenge to the rules of segregation, which is the Brown versus Board of Education in Topeka, Kansas, 1954, and then we're going to look at the integration of Southern schools with the Little Rock Nine. So we're going to look at those two things in the civil rights portion of it, which is what we'll cover at the beginning of this week. I don't think I'm going to put a Vietnam topic in this week for you, so don't expect another assignment. So one assignment, that assignment won't be due until Sunday, so you'll have a lot of time to work on that. But it will be based upon this video right here, the Little Rock 9 video, and the Brown versus Board of Education decision. Okay, so I'm going to basically make a statement about that. And then I'm going to have you watch that video, and then you're going to do a quiz. So it'll be very simple. Very simple for you. Not hard. Let me just go and I just want to look at that module closely. So most of you have that done right there, those 2 assignments right there. Very simple. So this is where we're going to put that next assignment. Okay, so just be prepared for that. And what I'm going to probably do is it'll look like it'll be 2 assignments, but really there's going to be the study portion, and then it'll be added. It'll look like a video basically, or a quiz. It'll look like the introduction to a quiz, and the study portion will be on the top, and then the quiz portion will say, when you're done, submit this quiz. Okay, and it'll be like that. So very simple in its structure. So that's really everything that here. Maybe I'll just put that together for you right now while you're here. Let's go ahead and look at that. Let's see here. Looks like that's good. Let me just here. I'm going to click on this link here really quick. I'm just curious. All right. So it's working. So sweet. So the link is working. I just want to double check my own link. So yeah, it worked out. All right. Okay. So let's go into here, and this is how I'll structure it. So in assignments, and this is going to be called, I'm going to call it the Little Rock 9 video. Okay, Little Rock 9 video. And that'll be really specific as to what it is. And I'm going to put in, let's see, Little Rock 9 video. And that's it. We'll just leave it like that. And then I'm going to bring in those 2 assignments from my webpage. So this video clip right here. Now, I wonder if I have that. Let me double check to see. I got to double check to see if I have that downloaded here onto my drive. I like to make the videos downloadable onto my drive, so it's just easier for you guys to access them. So that's kind of what I did with the other material. And just so you can see how I'll structure it, I just want to incorporate the assignment. So you go into maybe civil rights in Vietnam. I just don't think I have the video in here, and I want to download it in there for you. Make sure it's there. Let's see, Little Rock 9, Kent State. I got the Kent State in there. Fall of Saigon. That's all the Vietnam stuff. So I'm going to add in here. There's a civil rights one. I'm going to add the Little Rock 9 video in here. So that will come to you through our website. So I'm just going to go right there and take this video right here, because I did just blocked under copyright. I thought I already got that. Anyway, I'm gonna have to double check that one right there. I thought it was still there. It's not. So, but that's the I found a version of that video that is in that's on History Channel, and that's the one I want. So that's the one I'm going to share with you. So that will be it. But that's kind of the nature of that assignment. So Brown versus Board. Let me just go ahead and start it. I'll just start. I've already got it kind of beginning anyway, so we're going to put that in there. So Brown, I'm going to call it the Brown case. And the Brown case will go in there. And that's this one, Brown versus Topeka, Kansas, 1954. So that's kind of the catalyst. That'll be the link for it. Okay, so we'll look at that. That'll be the beginning. And let's just go like that, and we'll make that bigger for you. But that's going to be the basics of it, and then there'll be a video down below. Now this link here, you'll have to follow this. So if you go into this, I think this is a wiki link. It says it's still blue, so it's good. That means it's working. And then let me go ahead and see if I can just find that video real quick. I'm going to put Brown versus the Board of Education, and I'll just put it in there. It's just a short video. It's Brown versus Topeka. Let me just put it right there. 1954. There we go. Now, like I said, I just want to find a short video that looks at that. This is 4 minutes. That would be perfect right there. That's the PBS Supreme Court. So let's embed that one. Let's use that one. I'm going to put another one in there too. So this is the video that we're going to use right here. Let's just double check to make sure we're good there. Yeah. Let's see.
And torn in spots where the
so you
court
can hear it
acted.
now.
The white primary was outlawed. Housing covenants outlawed. Some graduate and law schools were forced to admit blacks. But the court was aware that the big fight was still to come. The schools, K through 12, white children and black in the same classroom.
Southerners assumed that if grade school kids were in a desegregated setting, they'd get to know each other and they'd get to date each other and then they'd marry each other. And that was the strongest taboo that the South held.
Led by Thurgood Marshall and other young lawyers like...
So I'm going to add... Now we've got some really good, very prominent civil rights people that are going to pop in here. And what I want to do is I also want to add a little segment in here about Jim Crow. So I'm going to put down here, I'm going to put some Jim Crow laws in before it comes. So next to Brown versus Topeka, the video, I'm going to put in Jim Crow laws, which were basically Southern laws to prevent blacks from integrating into society. And I'm gonna put a link to those too for you guys. So we'll go ahead and link those up. And let's go ahead and add that. I'm gonna add Jim Crow in here. And I'm just gonna use a wiki page for that, because it'll give us the most general basic list of things that week. So I'm going to put that in there. So I want us to refer to that. I'm going to definitely go through this as a basis of information. So we can, in 10 questions, it'll be like the most basic question. Like, what were the Jim Crow laws? Like, what were they? What were they designed for? What was the simple definition of it? So simple questions like that. And then I'll give you a list of some, typical Jim Crow laws. Like, what is this? What was this law trying to do? Was it trying to, prevent whites and blacks from marrying? Was it trying to keep whites or blacks from voting? And remember those big things. They wanted to keep that strong separation. Same thing with the schools, that black kids and white kids, even though they both got educations, they weren't allowed to be educated in the same building. And the original idea of desegregation was to force that upon the general public. And of course, you try to force anything on the general public, especially white South. It was definitely not something that was quickly adopted. So I'm going to insert that link there. So this is the wiki page on the Jim Crow laws, and this is the Brown versus Board of Topeka case. And then you'll watch this short video. And then down below here, it will be the quiz. Okay. So actually, these are the assignments, and then I'll put I'll transfer this in. It'll say this is an assignment. Okay. So, and the assignment is to watch a video and use the linked resources above. Okay, and then the assignment will be to take the quiz. Okay, take the short quiz. And this quiz is going to be just to check for understanding, okay? All right, so there we go. Everything's in caps like that one. All right, so there's basically the assignment right there. And I'm going to go ahead and put that in. I'm going to publish that right now. And then I'm going to create the quiz today based on the simple ideas within that. Okay, the separation of first of all the disenchantment of Southerners as a result of the end of the Civil War. They have not gotten over that. You still got monuments of the Civil War still being argued over today. I mean, they're like, hey, we want that statue of Jeb Stuart. We want that statue of Robert E. Lee in our square, and there's still reluctance and resistance to remove those things. And the South looks, hey, that's our history. Those are parts of our history. We want to embrace or hold on to those. And then I'll have a link here. This is a link to the quiz. I'm doing this in separate. I'm doing this in two separate pieces, just to kind of impress upon you that this is the information. The assignment is to read and to understand this material, and then to take the short quiz. That's the second assignment, which is the check for understanding. So that'll be a link to the quiz, which is not there yet. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make this official right now. Remember, none of this stuff is due until the end of the school year. So work on it at your own pace. Get it done at your own pace, and it will be available today. I'm going to put it on there today. I always put 7 o'clock, even though obviously it's well past that. All right, 7 a.m. And then let's see. I'm going to go. That's it. We go ahead and save that, and we'll publish it, and then we'll put it into that first module, and then I will put in the quiz. And the quiz isn't due until Sunday. Well, obviously it's not due until we're done, but that'll be the assignment. So very simple. Go ahead and publish that assignment. I don't know what's happening with Power School right now, so I'm going to go and check to see if those grades are moving into Power School. Let's see. Go ahead and assignments here. And then go down to the module, and I'll add it to the module. So in the week 4 module, you are now going to see that assignment. Little Rock 9 video right there. Add item. Now I have to turn that into so that's showing up. And I'm going to go ahead and I gotta make that into student. I have to make it into classwork. I have to change its. And it's not good here. It says 50 points here. Let me take that off. 0. The points are going to come into the quiz. Okay. So it's going to be classwork. And there's going to be no submission. Do not count this assignment towards the final grade. Let's see here. It will be, but it'll be in the form of the video. All right, there we go. So now it's not 50 points. It's all right. So that'll be, and I'll go into the module, and it'll show up in the module. There's Little Rock 9 video. So let's look at it as a student, and we should be done. We should be done for our live segment today. But I probably will not do a Vietnam assignment. Next week, I'm going to start with another Vietnam assignment. You will have 2 assignments next week. One will be a Vietnam one. Another one will be a simple, another step to our civil rights discussion. And let's go ahead and just look at that. I just want to look at it as a student, see what everything looks like. Student view, make sure it's showing up. It shouldn't show up as there's Little Rock 9 video. I'm going to change that to Little Rock 9 video instructions, but that link right there is going to take you, I'll have a link there. That'll take you there. So this will say Little Rock 9 video and assignment and then the video itself. So I'm going to leave the student view and I'm going to rephrase that really quick. Do a couple of things and that fix that. Assignment, and then I'm going to make this bigger. Brown case, let's make that big. Brown case, there we go. So this is, once again, this is our, and there it is right there. So that'll be your resource page, okay? So this is your general resources, stuff you should know, okay? And I want to put that down here. Oh, right there, and let's not make that 36, that's 12, and that's going to be, all right, so that'll be it there, and this will be stuff you should know. Okay, that'll help you prepare right there. It's empty like there, and then make that red text. There we go. All right. Okay. So that'll be it for today. On the live, I apologize. I had a dropout today. Sometimes you can't predict that happening. I really apologize for that, but we really didn't have a lot of stuff to hit today, so I had time to fix it. But there it is right there. That is that'll be the beginning there, and then the quiz will be next. So the next part will be the Brown video quiz, okay? And then this link will take you to that, and that will be your assignment. Take the quiz. Like I said, I don't see more than 10 questions, okay? So I'll make those 10 questions really good. They're just going to be really strong, basic facts that you're going to pull out of this information, okay? Very simple. Very straightforward. So easy assignment, and I'll just make those questions worth a lot of points. I don't know. Make that 10-point quiz. I don't know. Worth 100. 10 points a question. That'd be fun, huh? You miss one question and you get like 90%. No, I shouldn't do that, but it'll be something like that. It'll be very simple. All right, guys, that's it. That's done for the week. So remember, this is the module for the week, and you can go ahead and start looking over that. I would watch that video, and then I will get the quiz together, and I'll have that opening up in maybe an hour or so, probably. Well, first I have to get done with my last class here. That's going to be starting here in just a little bit. I've got to take care of my World Civ kids. Those kids already have a quiz of this style that they're already working on. And it'll be very similar to that. All right. So hope everybody's doing okay. I know it's been, hey, Adrian, how you doing? I know it's been kind of goofy. I'm trying to encourage kids to get these easy assignments done. It does matter that we keep learning, that we keep using our brains through this. That we're not just sitting there staring at really crappy news. Hey, I appreciate you, Adrian. Thanks for popping in. Okay, appreciate you too. And like I said, I'm glad you're taking advantage of this time. And if I'm teaching one kid, I know I'm teaching a lot more than that. But if you're the only one watching this and you're the only one that gets something from this, that works for me. So, but just check through that. And then, like I said, you'll have that little quiz and you'll be done. All right. So that's worth 0 points, but the quiz, it'll say Little Rock video quiz, and that will be worth whatever points I throw on there. Okay. Maybe, I don't know, 5 points a question, probably be a little bit better. So that would work out. And that would make it a 50-point quiz. So that works for me. Assignment wise. So remember, Vietnam and civil rights. That's the topics that we're looking at. We're looking at trying to connect the Vietnam War, that whole event that kind of, it made my parents kind of act and do the ways and the way they are, makes them the people that they are today. The Vietnam War was something they lived with every single day for almost 10 years, and almost like how the war with terrorism has been something we've been kind of struggling to deal with for 18 years. Holy crap! I can't believe we've been dealing with that this long. All right, guys, we're done. It's 10:59. I appreciate you popping. If you want to stay around and check out what I've got going on for my World Civ kids, get that to focus. All right. But that's what we're working on next. So we're going right into World Civilizations in just a minute. I'm going to take a real quick break, and then we're going to come right back. So later, and bye. Check, check. Check sound. All right, we are back. World Civ, Part 3. Hopefully everything's working. Seems like everything's working good now. Sometimes you just have things that happen. This morning has been kind of sluggish, but you'd think it wouldn't be sluggish by now. But I was counting on my technology working, and I had a crash. I had a computer crash. Too many windows opened up? I have no idea. I'm going to shut some windows right now just to make sure. I don't need that one open. Just need my dashboard there. There we go. There's a little monitor right there. All right. So let me shut the Jim Crow stuff down from last hour. We are now moving quickly, briskly to World Civ, and we were looking at Islam and its followers. So Islam. So you were asked this week to watch a video. I apologize that the sound was kind of low on it, but that's a really, really good video. It really explains a lot. I think that 30 days series is pretty good. So what I asked you to do was to watch that and to look at the experiences that non-Muslim basically had when confronted with being kind of just thrown into that environment. And it's the old get your feet wet and learn by experience. So, and we go with that. So that's the 30 days video. So 30 days of Muslim. Now the video link in here does not work. You have to go to, I didn't change this link, did I? Or did I? Oh, that's the one that's, this is the one that's still on YouTube, but it's not very good. It's got, they had to do that to avoid copyright or whatever, but we're looking at it. We're looking at this video because of, to understand Islam and to look at it from a pop culture standpoint, and so when this video basically centered around this very devout Christian guy, Dave Stacy. And Dave Stacy is what we would consider in our society born again Christian, I guess you want to look at that. Not Catholic, but Christian period. You just want to look at it that way. And he basically is facing the prospect of entering into this foreign environment. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and turn that off because I don't want to go there. So I'm going to go into my drive, and I'm going to fix that link while I'm working with you guys today. So let me go ahead and log into my account. Oh. Go ahead and get into there. So I just want to make sure that link is freshly fixed for us in case we do want to go watch that video through that site. So let me go into my drive, go to World Civ. So Dave Stacy had a lot of interesting experiences, I guess you want to look at it. So we're going to kind of walk through some of those experiences today. I want to look at, some of the main things that he was facing by being in that environment. So let's go to, we got there, there's unit 4 right there. Watch 30 Days a Muslim. This was the material. And then the quiz was down there. So make sure you take that quiz. Remember, the quiz is based from the video, and you can take it more than one time. So you get maximum points. So this is the video right here. Let me see if I can play it a little bit. Play some parts of it. Oh boy, I mean, I have to turn that sound source on. I think it should play through. Let me see, it should play through. But the sound is very low.
Muslim America.
Could I pass for an Arab?
Yeah, it's very low.
Cultures confirm his belief that Islam is a violent religion.
Do you guys think it's possible that there's any like sleeper cell activity around here?
Will he be able to embrace his Islamic faith while staying true to his Christian beliefs?
Prove to me that the world have to conflict with that.
Find out next on 30 Days.
Ali Kazam.
There was a time when Islam was nothing more to most Americans than a faraway religion in an exotic land. TV and the movies showed Americans that the Middle East was the home of snake charmers, belly dancers, and the Arabian Nights. But fast forward 50 years and a whole new set of quote, Islamic
so the introduction of this video.
Once innocent images of flying carpets have been replaced by flying planes.
And it starts with this whole image, okay? And you have to understand that most of the experiences and ideas around Islam today have been framed around this idea of terrorism. So that's kind of where the video uses as a center point, a centerpiece of where there's disagreement or misunderstanding or basically a look at it's not being embraced as a result of terrorism, at least the idea of terrorism. So that's kind of where the video begins, right there. This idea. So that's kind of the standpoint at which I wanted us to create our discussion, because it's, even though that discussion point is getting kind of old, actually, it's still fresh in the minds of people like me. People that have lived my entire life through that experience. So we go ahead and find Islam. But we want to look at the core values, right? To really understand Islam, we need to understand its core ideas, its core beliefs. So let me just go here. I just wanted to make sure that I got the link. Right there. Let's see here. Let's go share. I just want to make sure I get the right link. Copy the link and put that in our webpage. I want to change that page down here. So just be patient with me today, because I like to kind of fix things up. You can see where I put things and why I put things there. And let's go ahead and make that. Let's see, edit post. And we're going to put that link. We'll put that link fix in there. And then we'll talk a little bit about that video. All right. Right there, 30 days, right there. That is the old link there. So let me just put this here. Oops. That's an oops again. I need to go here. Edit. There we go. And that's the new link right there. So that'll bring you in. Now this one I need to probably get rid of. Let me just click on it and see what it does. Yeah, I need to get rid of that. So we don't accidentally go there. All right. So now we okay. Just want to fix that. It's updated. Now we can view the post. And that should work now. There we go. 30 Days a Muslim. All right. Okay, now we're set. So let's go to Canvas. Let's go where we started. And the questions right here, it says take the quiz. When you're so the quiz basically looks at I'm going to link it to the quiz. So the quiz basically looks at these ideas of centered around centered around, first of all, the beliefs and practices. I wanted to make sure that was clear, that we had a fundamental idea of how everyday life really is, and then how interesting it is, because you get it from the perspective of in this video, you get it in the perspective of three different, they call them imams. An imam is a person that's a teacher. They're a kind of a spiritual leader of their group, their sect, their church, or whatever they're in charge of. The first one was very fundamentalist. He was very old school. And let's go into the video. And let's highlight those. Let's look at that. So I'm going to go into the video, and we're going to fast forward to a couple of different points. And each of them, now this is the first church, and you can see that this is a more traditional, very small. So we'll look at this one right here.
And you will follow all of their customs.
So let's get into, there he is getting up. He's meeting with this family. This is the Hawk family. And he gets up to the call to prayer.
Alarm for our first prayer. 5:30. You can go back to sleep after it. Yeah.
So 5:30 call to prayer, 5 times a day. So one of the questions would be, how does someone live within society where you have to basically stop what you're doing in the middle of the workday? Because those 5 times, one comes at 5:30, but the other one comes at mid-morning. So right after your first your break, and then you get to work, you literally have another pray time. And more than likely, those are put within like what your everyday whatever work breaks, 15-minute breaks that come once, I think, every hour or something like that. Depends on the state you're in and what the labor laws are. But that has to also take into consideration religion. So whatever business it is, now it makes more sense to have a community that understands that. So the community that this video takes place in is a place called Dearborn, Michigan. Dearborn is I don't know I don't know why Dearborn became a focal piece or a center point of. Hold on here, I got to change my header here. I don't know why Dearborn became kind of the centerpiece of this Muslim community, but it's very large. It's even bigger since this video has been made. But what the solution to a lot of Islam, people that live the life of Islam, their problem was to just get band together. Your whole community is, and now that, when the call to prayer happens, everybody's witnessing it because you're all part of the same community. But what happens if that's not the case, meaning that you're not part of a primarily Islamic culture, okay, or Islamic community? How do the outside people, the people that are Christians or other denominations, so you could be Jewish, you could be Buddhist or whatever, even or non-religious, how do those outside groups live alongside these Islamic people? Okay, because world history has been this way. It's been basically people living around other people with different ideas and different beliefs. So Dave Stacy basically is facing this in this video. This is the first imam that he works with. He's basically giving basic rules. This is where he's worried that he couldn't stay at the end because his wife would be there, that he needs to go during the day. He can't stay alone with his wife, that it's against his religious upbringing.
It's just okay. I'm glad you brought it up. Yeah.
So he needs to go.
The imam, much like a pastor, priest, or rabbi, is the prayer leader at the mosque.
So, ready for the lesson of the day? Sure. Okay. Christianity, Judaism, Islam. Maybe they have different language, different culture, but the core, the principle of these all 3 religions are the same, which is believing in one God.
So this is where this first imam is basically helping him try to understand that the similarities of the religious groups, and he's definitely the most non-traditional of the 3. Or I'd say non-Western, like the imams, more traditional, I guess, when it comes to his religious beliefs. So this guy here, Dave Stacey, right away has a lot of problems with, and you'll see they really don't have a good relationship. And he basically goes and asks for help and says, hey, I'm not learning what I need to learn. This guy's, is not, reaching me right. So he basically finds this other guy. Well, that's another community. That's another meeting they have. And he's like, gosh, this isn't working for me. And then he goes to, this is where he says, oh crap, this isn't working. He gets with this guy right here. This guy is much more receptive to the fact that he's working with a guy that does not really want to be a Muslim, that he just wants to learn and understand. English. So he's teaching him things like just to speak basic words. So he's not afraid of people that speak Arabic. And he's kind of a fun guy. So this guy is what I would consider more of a traditional teacher. He's like hands-on. Hey, learn this, because he wants to learn this piece of paper there is basically basic Arabic, and he figures that if he can just teach him some things that would help him connect, that they would have a better relationship. Thus, he would learn more, which he does. So this is kind of a cool part of this video. I really enjoy this video. It's got I learned a lot from it. And then they go looking at the family tree, the religious family tree, and they talk about how the three religions, the three core principal religions, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, how they all have similar like beginnings. So it's kind of interesting that way. You are getting cough. And, So it's halfway through.
From his imam, he's decided to seek guidance from a new advisor at a mosque being built in Detroit. The separation between the men and
So this guy here is another imam, and look at how he dresses. Much more, I mean, look, you see Dave Stacey now. He's asked to dress because one of the things that he's asked to do during this time period that he's supposed to be, an Islamic, he basically has to dress like one. Well, this guy, look at how he's dressing. He's dressing blue shirt, khaki pants. He doesn't look like he's, if you saw him in public, you would never know that he was Islamic.
I'm just having a hard time just getting my mind around that. It almost seems like that just men are just inherently evil. And a lot of the mosques you'll find.
Oops. Well, that's I'll let that play out. So this in this segment here, you've got that that time where he's starting to get the questions asked that he wants to ask. You've got the second imam. I don't know if he's truly imam or if he's just an Arabic teacher. But you got this. Let's see, Edie Alawan, Dave's new imam. The
women are praying behind the men because out of modesty for the women. When men and women pray, they have to bend in prostration.
So he's explaining why. And I think everybody, when you're trying to learn something, you want to know why.
Behind a woman, and that's why the woman is behind the man.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense. It's kind of bizarre to look around and see 75 behinds right in your face.
David, but you're not supposed to be looking at the behinds. You're supposed to be like this, David. Don't look up like that, like this, David. If you notice these little stick men, this will explain to you exactly what the positions are, from up to down and standing back up.
So he's teaching him how to pray, and that's one of the things that he's asked to do, is to teach him or for him to learn how to pray.
This is exactly what I've been looking for.
What you're looking for.
Testify that there is no God but the Almighty.
So anyway, the video basically goes on and it works through that. And I think the other part of the video that's important is the relationship these guys have together. The host family, his host family, that basically is that, I guess, that base that he's trying to relate to. And they get into this discussion at their table right here, which is kind of heated, which is a really good one. And this is the one that I think America was having at this time.
Muslim or an Arab or something like that. I just think it's a way to make.
And this is the
When there's a terrorist attack,
discussion on terrorism.
crux what they're doing it for is for religion.
But Dave,
And you can see it's creating a lot of animosity at the table.
Fringe Muslims, they're fringe people. These are people who do something totally inhumane. They don't belong to any group who.
I know, but when they strap a C4 on them and go out to walk into a nightclub in Bali spouting Arabic, I mean, it's going to be tied to you. And I think you share even more of a responsibility to condemn it, to publicly condemn it, to let other people know, coworkers and things, hey, this is not what the teaching of Islam is about. Because if not, how does it get out?
it's guilt by association.
It's
That's
not
all
guilt
it
by
is.
association, but if someone, you don't even have to go up to them and actually apologize or anything like that. But if you just, like you said, if Muslims just get out of their cocoon and actually interact with mainstream America,
There's a really good discussion.
the humanity of people, and then you don't have to come out and
How many terrorists and killings here in the last?
And you get a lot of pushback. He was one of the ones that you can see. She really is trying to, and both of them are really trying to get him to understand. Hey, we're not the enemy, and you don't have to be like us, but you just have to understand that why we don't apologize for being Islamic, that kind of thing. This is an interview. He goes and gets on the radio, and then after the radio interview, he has to speak with this gentleman here. And this gentleman would basically say, hey, it's easy to be in your position because you can always go home later and you don't have to live the life. So that's where it kind of ends. And then, but it does have I think it has a good ending. So as you're going through, please just kind of look at the different phases of that video. And then when you do answer your questions on the quiz, I do take out just the most simple themes from the video. Okay, so just make sure you understand that there's no study guide for the quiz. The study guide is the video. So watch it. If you have to watch it twice, watch it again. Take the quiz again. So that's that, guys. That's all you have to do this week, and that's really where I kind of want to leave it. With World Civ, I'm trying to keep things simple. I'm trying to. This week I've just tried to make things just very one assignment. Next week will be maybe I've got to finish up this little segment of this unit. So there's a couple of things that we have to cover yet. I do have to go into. Let's go to the PowerPoint really quick. I want to get into Africa. I want to get looking at trade routes, and we're going to look a little bit at the geography of Islam, basically how it basically flowed through Africa. This assignment here, I have yet to figure out because the map was such an integral part of it. It was the making of the map in class was so important, and I don't get to do that with you guys now. So I have to figure out how we're going to make the map and understand the same things. And this right here where it says Africa Trading Kingdoms, this little PowerPoint right here is is the basics of it. And I'm going to have to kind of count on it. It's the map, but it's in the map in PowerPoint. So this map here, I have got to create a PDF for. I don't believe I have a PDF for it. And it gives you the visuals that I want you to see. These are little kingdoms that developed through Africa based on trade. So we're going to look at African trade. And then as a result of trade, you have people going from place to place, bringing things like Islam, the ideas that they also shared. So this is that. And it basically looks at different areas. And it gives us some basic information from those different areas. Okay, so we're going to look at, so I've got to, it basically boils down to the trade of these things right here. I'm going to go out of here really quick and show you. This is the Africa map example once again. This is just another version of it. Oops, let's move out here. And right at the very bottom here, this little piece down here, this is kind of the theme of the map. It's basically the map is supposed to show you the triangle, what they call the trade triangle of Africa, which is the trade of gold, salt, and iron from those three regions of Africa. The gold would basically come out of out of out of other places, such as the Far East. It could have come out of the Roman Empire, and it basically funneled itself into Africa. It went down, and of course, you have also gold in Africa. Crap, this is a huge gold-bearing region right here. This is the Kingdom of Benin, or not Benin. This is the Kingdom of Mali and Ghana, which is still a gold. If you ever watched the movie Gold, there was a movie called Jungle Gold. It actually talked about gold. The gold that exists in Africa right in here. But anyways, gold was something that was in abundance. What they didn't have was salt, so they would basically trade for salt and iron from East Africa in a place called Axum over here. So this would be an area that iron would be mined and manufactured, or basically come out as a raw material. But this area was highly Christian, Ethiopia. So you've got this Ethiopian Christianity trading iron ore, and then that iron ore would basically find its way in the form of maybe traded for salt. Salt would basically come into basically the gold region. Of course, the people that had salt wanted gold, so they could trade with other parts of the world. And you have this basically trade relationship. So we'll look at that next time. We are going to look at this map right here. So be prepared for that next week. And that's kind of that's part of the end. We've got another activity that I'd like to do, which is basically looking at sub-Saharan Africa. So we're going to look at Saharan Africa, and then we're going to go down and look at sub-Saharan Africa down here to basically finish out our study of this unit of this golden age. And then we are going to have to move on. We're going to move on to, let's go ahead and look at the next segment here. Let's go out of there. We're going to move out of Africa. We're going to move back into India. We're going to look at the Gupta Empire. We're going to go back into there. Look at the birth of Hinduism, the caste system. We're going to look at that. Buddhism and Hinduism. And then we're going to finish it out in China. So that's kind of the goal. So we got a few things to do yet. And more than likely, I'm going to quiz it out in smaller quizzes. So maybe next week I'll throw a quiz at you for the first part, and then we'll just kind of quiz it as we go, instead of taking a big giant test. So the modules will be like a module is supposed to be. It will be modular. All right. So those are the last three pieces, and we're just going to flow right through it. Let me just double check. Let's look into Canvas really quick. I want to look at the Canvas page system here. Let's go to, let's see, pages. I just want to look at if I do have a page for the Golden Age, Module 4. Yeah, I do. It's here, and I'll edit through it. There's stuff's in here. Pretty much everything we need is still in here. And then at the bottom, there's our Quizlet. So yeah, so this is still working good. All right. So make sure you finish out your video. Make sure you take that quiz. Okay, remember the quiz and the video are connected. So if you have not done that, make sure you watch that and take the Islam and its followers quiz. Let me just double check. I'm going to look at, I just want to look and see our progress on that quiz. Um, 30 Days of Muslim quiz. All right, still waiting for submissions on that. So make sure you take that quiz. It says I allow you to take it 3 times, so there you go. I should allow you to take it 5 times. 1 for each pillar of Islam. All right, guys, I'm going to cut the stream short. I think we've covered everything we needed to cover. Just remember to take care of that, and we are moving forward into Africa next week. All right. Okay, all right. So for Mr. Gopal and World Civ, we are done. Finish it up. It's all easy stuff. I know. Oh, I kind of get sick of everybody saying, "Hey, there's a lot of uncertainty in the world." No, there's certainty in the world. The certainty of the world is this: is that you're going to have to learn, guys. You're going to have to get things done. We are going to move on. School is going to be the way it's going to be. I can't imagine us basically being shoved into a classroom with 40 other kids coming next fall. There is got to be some kind of change. We're not going to be sitting on top of each other anymore. I cannot see the logic in that. So I don't know. I have no idea how the next schedule is going to look. If I can imagine there are going to be some serious meetings and some serious discussion as to how to move forward with a classroom of 35, 40 kids, because you just can't do it. At least not in this present environment. All right, so have a good one, guys. I hope you're enjoying things. Summer is on its way, and I am not enjoying this one bit. I hope you guys are basically getting used to it, but I really miss you. I miss being in a school. I miss being in a classroom. I miss the interaction, then, hey, I know you understand, or you show me you don't understand. I think we've got a lot of lost children out there right now, and wish you, if you have a friend out there that has not embraced the live stream, or you can help them, basically look through these videos to help them, with the things they need to do. Please do that. Get them in communication with me. Let's get things started. All right. So we'll see you guys on next week. If you need to see me earlier, let me know. Okay, all right. It's a long week. I do not have a problem with getting on and live streaming to help any one of you guys out with something you need. So, all right, thank you, and later, and goodbye. Have a great rest of your Tuesday.